So the talk is about inertia rails. What is inertia rails? Who knows what inertia rails is? Okay, some people. Cool. So inertia rails is you can think about that as a replacement for your view layer. Instead of using ERB, we will use a React, Vue, or Svelte. So, but Rails will use all the power of its routing, all like authentication, validation, all the goodies without you writing any APIs or client side, like again, clients for that API, whatever. So you can think about that as of like mix between Hotwire and like classic SPA with all the good stuff and none of the bad, obviously. And like in couple words, the whole idea is that we, from Rails controller, we can pass attributes right to the React component. That's it. You should use as JSON or something, some kind of serialization layer, because in like you will expose everything from that user, obviously. So it's not like no API at all, but still. And there is a lot of stuff in Inertia, like some smart props that allow you to automatically load stuff, like with deferred, like infinite scroll. Like you just use a special attribute, and your page uses infinite scroll. Some for helpers, some like conventions, SSR, and I have a talk. I gave it last year at Tropico. We have a workshop from SF Ruby. And lately we shipped a lot of stuff, adding more and more to Inertia with like the whole thing is led by a Laravel team. So we are kind of trying to keep up with all the features. So recently they released Inertia 3, and we are on 3 like for years already. We obviously like going forward, right? So we also released full support for their 3.0 version in our like 3.19. Obviously Rails is better, right? Anyway, so we also added some cool features, and we are planning to add like live props, for example, which will be like a feature that Laravel don't have basically. So you can just pass a prop with like Inertia Rails live, and it will work just like in Hotwire. Basically the same patterns, so like update that in hook and your model or whatever. And we're also shipping a new generator that will set up Inertia Rails project with all the goodies, all the like Rails route helpers. You will connect your Rails application to TypeScript. All the types like magically will appear there. It's SSR ready. Inertia can render React components on the backend with linters and formatters, both for Ruby and JS stuff, and without VitRuby. Who uses VitRuby? Anyone? Not many. Hotwire guys, right? Everyone uses Hotwire? Cool. And what do you use? Like JS Builder or import maps? Import maps. Jesus, some purists here. Anyway, so at Evil Martians we use VitRuby almost every day on almost every project because it's fast. It gives you the magical hot module reload functionality. So you change something, your application reacts to that. You change one line of CSS, you don't need to reload the whole page, it just reacts. And we'll love it, but VitRuby in particular has some issues with it being like too bloated and making too much stuff. like basically it's a like rec proxy. It has like shared config between Rails part and Vite part, and it's like a parallel universe to PropShot basically. So why it uses proxy, right? Why we need to proxy something when we are building JavaScript? What is happening there? Like DHH is right? It's overcomplicated. Anyway, so what is happening? Vite basically in its first versions, it used only relative paths. So every JavaScript file that requires another JavaScript file requires it on like this slash something. And Vite in development mode, it uses like a dev process. So instead of generating real files on your file system, you just call kind of API, like give me application.json, and it generates it to you. So there are no files, it's all APIs. That's why it's super fast, and that's why we can use these cool features like hot model reloading. But with this, basically the first file we can say like, okay, the Vite server is there, please take it. But the next one is basically calls Rails server, and there is no such file in Rails. So that's why solution was to proxy everything through rec. So we call rec, then pass it to Vite, which is not really, I don't know. It's not good, but it was the only way to use Vite before like 2.6 or something. And while we don't need that anymore, we still use it to this day. And it creates a lot of like complexity, like newbies on macOS tries to call like land on one IP address. They can't use localhost or whatever. It's super flaky and unreliable to some extent. So basically, I hijacked the talk. Irina sent my talk name, so we will talk about Inertia Rails. No, we won't. We will talk about Rails Vite and how to remove proxy from Vite Ruby. Don't mess the names. I'm bad at names, so it's Rails Vite. Anyway. So how can we remove proxy and also this like shared config and all this complexity? Basically, the only thing we need to make it work with Vite 2 like plus, right? It's like Vite 8 right now, so it's a long time legacy. Anyway, we need to find out the address of Vite server, put all JS like CSS entry points into our ERB layout with that prefix. That's it. Nothing else is needed, right? So the first trick to use to find the server address, Vite Ruby uses that shared config that Vite server and Rails server reads from, and there is this like the whole like server address. Rails Vite makes Vite dev server to write its address. So tell me your address and put it into the temporary folder. That's it. We don't need that file anymore. Cool. Next. Vite Ruby, to make it work with Rails, it uses its own set of tags, because we can't use PropShot stuff because we need to add that prefix, right? So it uses like with JavaScript tag, with style sheet tag, and also like these special preambles that are basically like copy-paste stuff for that hot module reload to work. So it's JS code that just generates like, it just listens to WebSocket and reloads stuff. And also, if you work with React, they use their own version of that, because if you use React, it just like it snaps and like reloads stuff, but you also don't lose your like local state. works really good, but you need to add those in particular order or it won't work. LM's super bad at it, by the way. So in Rails Suite, we use just one like helper tag that you can use with style sheets or JavaScript files, and that's it. It inserts all this magical like client-side stuff for you. You don't need to think about that. This is also cool. So with this two like remove this all this complication, can we maybe add Vite to this Rails new J option, right? Vite is the best tool in JavaScript world to this moment. It's like the most beloved thing. It's like every year they gain like 98% of satisfaction from a JavaScript world. Can you, like, I can't do that with my mom. I'm sure she's not satisfied to 98% of, like, this is crazy. But DHH said, like, no, it's too complicated. It doesn't play by the, like, prop shaft rules. And our version also don't play nice with prop shaft. So we still need to use those magical tags. And what prop shaft wants us is to build these files, and that's it. Just put those files in this particular like directory, and prop shaft will take it. But we don't have any files. So another trick is to build that file. Why not? We already built that temporary file with a server address. Vite allows us to write custom plugins, and we can do that. So why not write this like application.js that will just link to application.js from Vite, and that's it. It's basically the same file, but we also like we will include that like Vite client stuff and CSS modules, all that stuff, and it will just work with prop shaft. With CSS though, it's kind of more complicated because we add that to JavaScript, because for hot module reload to work, Vite creates like a JavaScript code that listens to CSS changing and replaces style in DOM, whatever. It's complicated, so we need to put it here. And to prop shaft not to blow up, I don't have like application.css file in that folder. We will just create an empty file, whatever. So like the migration is super simple. So you can install this plugin with Vite, add a configuration file for Vite and call JS bundling, and replace like yarn build watch with yarn Vite. That's it. It will work. Do you want to add like Tailwind and listen for CSS files? It's done. You see why JavaScript people love Vite. It's super simple, and it's just one like configuration file. In production though, there is like a bit complication, because since we created this shim with a link to another file, this is what is happening like in production as well, unfortunately. So we have this shim with like import that uses file generated by Vite during build time. So basically prop shaft sees that file, generates another one, and we have two application.js files. So we call two files in production. Not a big deal. DHH calls like thousands of them or whatever. So that's basically it. So one gem, two modes, like gem mode if you don't want to mess with that stuff, JS bundling mode if you want to add something to Rails.new or Rails new, whatever. Can we do that though? Maybe. This thing needs more projects to test it. It works for us, we use it in production, but hey, it's just like a couple projects. So if you want to try it, please help us, leave issues, create PRs. Thank you.